Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Cartoon Man 13 channel, and this is my Chipmunk Movie Legacy review, where I review these Chipmunk films that I have on DVD and Blu-ray, the two DVDs as well as Blu-ray. So, I'll get started. I'll start off with the Chipmunk Adventure. In my opinion, I'd probably have to say it'll be the best of the Chipmunk Movie Legacy since it was the first Chipmunk movie ever made. I thought it was the best out of all Chipmunk movies that were made. In this movie, we see our chipmunks that travel around the world illegally. They deliver these dolls that have diamonds in them, thanks to two diamond smugglers. That's what they didn't know until, like, at the middle of the movie. And there's only one bonus feature on this DVD. Original artwork. And it's only a 1-disc release. And there is no DVD guide in here or anything. But still, the best of the Chipmunk Movie Legacy. Definitely the best, in my opinion. Then there's Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Scarific double feature, which includes Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein and Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. I have to say Frankenstein is funnier, in my opinion, than the Wolfman, although the Wolfman is still good. It has absolutely no special features whatsoever. Okay? In Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein, our chipmunks, they're at a theme park, and all of a sudden, at one ride, they discover Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. And all of a sudden, when the chipmunks started to know more about the monster, they started to become friends. And Dr. Frankenstein hated it, so Dr. Frankenstein gives Alvin this little potion that turns him into a cartoon zombie. And at the end of the movie, Dr. Frankenstein had another plan to electrocute him. And by the way, on this one, and Dr. Frankenstein was in the Sammy Squirrel outfit at the end, huh? And the monster, he learned to talk by the chipmunks. At the very end of the movie, he had this high-pitched talking voice like the chipmunks. He learned how to talk. And in Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman, Alvin believes that Mr. Talbot, his new neighbor, is a werewolf, and his prediction actually is correct. He really is a werewolf. And all of a sudden, Mr. Talbot goes after Theodore and bites him. And all of a sudden, Theodore transforms to a werewolf. I remember close to the end of the movie, he screws up the entire play when he's a werewolf. Really don't know why it happened, but absolutely no DVD guide and no promos, and it's a single disc DVD. How could they fit two films on one DVD? But both movies are still good. Frankenstein is the funnier one in my opinion, as I said. So there you go. And then there's my least favorite in the Chipmunk Movie Legacy, Alvin and the Chipmunks. I got the Blu-ray edition. Get your squeak on. And I honestly like Ross Bagdasarian voicing the Chipmunks better than the new ones. thought Ross Bagdasarian did a much better job than the new ones. In the new one, Justin Long voices Alvin, Matthew Gray Gubler voices Simon, and Jesse McCartney voices Theodore. I liked it when Ross Bagdasarian did it better. Yeah, I thought Ross Bagdasarian did a better job doing the Chipmunks. Although the new ones did a pretty decent job doing the Chipmunks. And Jason Lee did a pretty decent job doing Dave Seville. And it's more of a revamped version of the origins of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay? It's more of a revamped version. The movie starts when they're at the woods, before they started to know Dave, and then all of a sudden some people just chop down the tree for Jet Records, where Dave works at, for all of his songs. And then he meets Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then later in the Chipmunks go to this world tour. And when the Chipmunks starts to get worried about Dave, and they didn't want to go to the world tour. They wanted to go back home with Dave. So there you go. And the two bonus features on here are Chip Chipperate Chipmunk History Featurette and Hitting the Harmony Chipmunk Music Featurette. So it was pretty good. It's probably like my least favorite of the Chipmunk Movie Legacy. It was a pretty decent film. And as usual, it's a one-disc release. When will Chipmunk movies have a two-disc release? Yeah, so this is a pretty decent movie. I haven't seen the Squeakquel yet, but I might plan to see the Squeakquel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my Chipmunk Movie Legacy review. First favorites, Chipmunk Adventure. Second favorites, Alvin and Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein. Third favorites, Alvin and Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. Fourth favorites, Alvin and the Chipmunks. As I said, in my opinion, this is the best, and this is the least. Okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my Chipmunk Movie Legacy review. I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.